ERod, I'm here.
I'll be out in a minute.
Hey, you mind if I look at your DVDs?
Go ahead. Watch out for that movie, Marsha. It's pretty bad.
Really? You know, someone should really warn people.
Someone will.
Who are you supposed to be, Angry Joe?
Shut up.
In a world of uncertainty, where movie theaters are plagued by remakes and sequels, in a world where big budget movies can still suck, in this world we have the Blockbuster Buster.
Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. I'm ERod, and I'm the Blockbuster Buster. Thus it came to pass that Bryan Singer finished the first 2 X-Men films, but when it came time for him to take on the third, he regretfully declined. Singer opted to take on The Last Son of Krypton, and while any other director would have taken the opportunity to reboot and revitalize the franchise, Singer decided to make a sequel to the Superman movies from the 70s and 80s. Wait, what? That's right, even though it's a completely different cast and a completely different decade, this is supposed to be a sequel to the original Superman movie. So our movie opens up with Superman returning from space and... wait a minute, that's Superman? Well, he doesn't look very super. I mean, Tom Welling from Smallville looked more like Superman. So let me get this straight. They got the guy who looks like Superman to play Clark Kent and the guy who looks like Clark Kent to play Superman?
Coming back.
This is the worst decision since...
Since Schumacher put nips on Batman.
So why was Superman in space? Apparently he went to see the spot where Krypton used to be. Why? They never say. But that's not the worst part of this conundrum. Apparently it took him 5 years to get there and back. And if this is truly a sequel to the old Superman movies, didn't Superman used to have the ability to fly around the Earth so fast he reverted time itself? So why did it take him 5 years to get there and back? And what the hell was he doing at the edge of space?
I've been to the edge. Just looked like more space.
Meanwhile, back at Metropolis, Lex Luthor was rising back to power. And how, you may ask, did Lex regain his empire?
You had to stoop every little old lady in New York.
He slept with an old lady so he could inherit her fortune? But he's Lex Luthor. He's supposed to be a genius. Couldn't he have, I don't know, rigged the lottery or siphoned some government funds? This is just so... Just keep it together, ERod. Just hold it together until the last act.
We're done.
Parker Posey? Now, some of you might remember her from Blade Trinity. She played Danica Talos.
Can't destroy!
She's a damn good actress. It's not her fault they didn't give her anything good to do in Blade. Now, this movie was directed by Bryan Singer, who has given us such great films as The Usual Suspects and Valkyrie. I'm sure he'll give her more dignified things to do.
Needs his water.
Like, sea monkeys.
Singer, I'll kill you! It's okay. She's not a central character. It's not that big a deal. That's Lois Lane? She looks so young. Both of them do. Calm down. Just calm down. I don't want to have 2 freakouts in one episode. I'm sure they couldn't find another actress that was in the right age group to play Lois Lane that was available to be in this movie.
By Piggy...
Peta Wilson? La Femme Nikita? Mina Harker? She could have played Lois Lane, and they gave her some bit part? Singer, I will drop you like a prawn dress! So after 36 minutes of boring dialogue, meaningless flashbacks, and stupid jokes...
Look, in the sky, Chief.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
No, look, it's... You wanted to see me?
Clark finally changes into Superman. Nope. Don't care. Still don't care. That was great. That's the costume? He looks like he's wearing a wetsuit with a plastic sheet tucked into his shirt. The damn leotards from Fantastic Four looked better. And why can't he have one of those cool red capes from 300? Which, by the way, is a movie with well over 300 guys in it, all of which look like superheroes, and yet they picked this nincompoop to play the greatest superhero of them all? I'm sorry, I know I keep picking on Brandon Routh, and who knows, maybe there was no actor available to be in this movie that actually was in the same age range as Superman.
Richard Clark.
Richard White.
James Marsden? Cyclops? They actually casted a guy in this movie that actually looks like a superhero in a bit part? Singer, you will die! Alright, maybe Brandon Routh isn't that bad of a Superman.
I hope this experience hasn't put any of you off flying. Statistically speaking, it's still the safest way to travel.
Thank you. You know what? I need to take a breather, and you guys probably want to know what Lex Luthor is up to, so here's Nerdlinger with a quick synopsis of the movie's subplot. Hi, I'm Nerdlinger, and I'm gonna do the cinemanopsis to the Superman subplot. So, evil genius Lex Luthor wants Superman dead, so he breaks into the Fortress of Solitude. We don't know how he found this Fortress of Solitude, Superman's secret hideout. What we do know is that Lex is into the old ladies. Yeah, he wouldn't mind getting together with a couple of old ladies and having himself a menage-a-grandma. So he breaks into the Fortress of Solitude and he talks to the talking head of Marlon Brando. I like cake. So he steals a crystal that can create land masses when dipped in water.
Like, sea monkeys.
No, more like Kwame from Captain Planet. Go Planet! So Lex wants to create his own island.
Why?
So he can be the most evil real estate agent in the world.
Why?
We don't know why. What we do know is that Lex is into old ladies, Marlon Brando likes cake, and real estate agents are evil. Thanks, Nerdlinger, that was great. Thank you, goodbye. So the rest of the movie pretty much follows the same pattern. Something cool, something stupid, boring, boring, boring. Something cool, something stupid, boring, boring, boring. Amidst all the boredom, we find out that Lois Lane has moved on in the last 5 years that Supes was missing. And now she has a son. And... what? So he's the idiot that flew to the edge of space for no good reason, and now he's a peeping Tom? Well, he loves her, so I guess there's no harm in looking as long as he doesn't... oh, come on! So he's an idiot, a peeping Tom, and an adulterer? You do not mow another man's lawn! I mean, Jay has more dignity! So Super Jerk takes Lois on a midnight flight. And I know this is supposed to be a throwback to when Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder flew, but with these young kids playing the parts, all I can think of is... So while following a lead on what caused the plane crash earlier, Lois and her son are captured by Lex Luthor and...
Who is that boy's father?
huh? WTF, mofo? Superman impregnated Lois Lane? But I thought...
the only way he could bang regular chicks is with a kryptonite condom. That would kill him.
Exactly! And when did this happen? Did it happen before the movie or while he was in space? And if so, how did he impregnate her while he was in space?
Magic.
So he's an idiot, a peeping Tom, an adulterer, and now he has a bastard child? I don't expect Superman to be perfect, but this is a lot to take in! So Lex Luthor creates a whole island made out of kryptonite, and he kills Superman. That's right, Superman is dead. Psych, they do some quick surgery on him, he gets a tan and he's fine. So what do you think they're gonna do for the climax? He picks up the island that almost killed him earlier and he chucks it into space. So what do you think they're gonna do for an encore? Is Lex gonna put on his Lexo suit and duke it out with Superman? No, Superman just stays in the hospital for the rest of the movie until he feels well enough to sneak into a little boy's room and fly through space all the while trying not to look at the camera. The end. This movie sucks super cojones. The cast selection stinks, except for Kevin Spacey, who's always good. But it makes the major mistake of showing you the best scene first, and then the rest of it's just a bunch of meaningless dribble that's either boring or insulting. It's no wonder this movie bombed. It bombed like Krypton right before the credits. This looks like a job for the Blockbuster Buster. So that's one busted, thousands more to go. I'm ERod, and I'm the Blockbuster Buster. Oh, God damn it.